Hey there guys, this is me, Juno D, and I'd like to greet you, Happy 2023! So, 2022 has come to an end and this is now the new year. Personally, we all have our own experiences of the past year, and for me, 2022 is a healing year and also a year of opportunities and encounters with new people. And aside from moving on to the new year, this is also one highlight for me because I already turned 30. Oh my gosh! I officially left my 20s, and so this vlog is entitled 20 Lessons I Learned from My 20s. But of course, while I'm talking to you, let me also have my morning skincare routine courtesy of Lana PH. So I've been using this for almost a year now and I'm really satisfied with the results in my skin. So let's start! So the first lesson that I want to share to you is that be kind always. Be kind always because, as a young professional, there are a lot of times din na nauubusan tayo ng pasensya, but my learning is that never be so rude even if you feel bad. Just be kind, especially to the elders and even to the young ones. Always be kind, always know that whatever you do and whatever you say, it will always reflect to your personality, to your character. Always say kind words. Second is to not judge a person automatically. Personally, I am also guilty for doing that. So there are times na nade-judge ko yung mga tao based on their situation, based on their automatic reactions or based on their attitude. So instead of judging, maybe I'll just let it pass and give it time. So yeah, I won't judge automatically. Next is think twice before I speak and before I post on social media. Yes guys, kasi yan sa mga pitfall ko from last year. I always do things based on my emotions, based on my reactions. So next time, I will think twice, thrice, or maybe 100 times before I speak. If I speak, it should be strategically. Also, in posting in social media. So, kung mapapansin nyo guys, I am very careful in posting on my Facebook. And I am more loose when I'm posting on my Instagram. So if you follow me on both social media, you can really see the difference between the two because pinapractice ko kasi yung branding ko. Sure, may branding na nalalaman. So pinapractice ko yung branding ko on Facebook and on Instagram. Should be different. Social media should be managed, and the only one who can manage that is you yourself because you're the owner of the account, right? Next is that we can't control everything. So there are things that we can control, but you should also know what are those things that you cannot. And there are just circumstances that we cannot. We can try to mediate or to handle it, but overall there are just happenings or things that we cannot control, and so we let it go, we let it be. And with that being said, I cannot also please everyone. Every people has their own perspective, every people has their own mindset. Some mindsets can be changed, but there are also mindsets, especially from those of the older people, older than me, sorry for the term, or may I say, people who are more experienced than me. So I just cannot change their mindset automatically. I cannot please them the way I wanted them to be. And so I'd rather, work on myself instead. I'd rather mind my own business, but at the same time, I would speak up if there is something that is really intolerable, or should I say intolerable. Yes. So yun na lang yung sa akin. Like, I should know when to shut up and I should know when to speak up. And that is not easy, but I am really, really trying hard for it. So yes, I cannot control everything, I cannot please everyone, but I still need to know how to work things out. Yeah. Another thing is to respect other people's silence, other people's space and privacy. Na-realize ko din kasi na each of us has its own moods and levels of, coping up, and we should respect them the way we want to be respected, especially if we want to become silent for a while, if we want to have space for a while, and of course, we all have our privacies. So that's one thing that I learned is to shut up again. Especially when I see that the person is not in the mood or the person is carrying some burden. There are times that I should distance myself from that person. So yeah. Next is never be afraid to take risks. Yeah, so all throughout my 20s, I really can say this to you guys because personally, I took a lot of risk. I got out of my comfort zone, especially na nga if you can observe my hairstyle for today. This is really unexpected. This is really short. I have short hair naman before, but that was a barber's cut. That was a boy's cut. But if you saw me the past year, I already had a long hair, which is quite brave for me because I had to project this to the outside world. But now, I had the courage to cut my hair this short, and it turned out, unexpectedly, it turned out quite well naman. Although, minsan nag-cringe pa rin ako, pero it turned out well naman so far. Some people like it, some people don't. But then, the thing is, I am practicing how to take risk. And it also applies to the other facets of my life. So, yeah. Next is avoid gossiping. Yes, guys. Minsan talaga, okay, to be honest, minsan talaga, nagpo-fall ako sa pagiging marites. And that's one thing that I really want to work on because I don't want to become a marites, that's for sure. Instead of becoming a marites or becoming a gossip, I'd like to read more. I'd like to reflect more on what's happening with myself. Self-introspection, sabi pa nga. So, instead of focusing on other people's businesses, I would rather focus on my own growth. So, yun yung gusto kong gawin talaga. Yun yung gusto kong i-eradicate talaga in my life this 2023, the attitude of being a marites or a gossip. Next to that is I also learned to go out and learn something new. Lagi kong sinasabi sa mga students ko and to my other friends na napakalawak ng mundo. There is so much to learn. So yeah, I would always like to learn new things, learn new ways, and meet new people. Another one, which is I'm doing right now, is prioritize self-care. Now, there are a lot of preconceived notions na when you do self-care, when you do self-love, parang naging selfish ka na. In a way, it is, pero depende kasi sa situation eh. If like me, na nanggaling ako sa state of depression, well, I think prioritizing self-care is a good tool for you to move forward, to better yourself because you wanted to serve more to other people, you wanted to be of help to other people. So how can you do that if you don't take care of yourself, right? And self-care, guys, is not just physical. It also includes mental, spiritual, emotional. So it's vast. You cannot just contain it by just doing this skincare. No, it's more than that. It's the holistic state of a human. And guys, self-care has been a priority, a highlight for me in this past year. And I would like to continue with this 2023 because why not? I do still need a lot of growing up. And therefore, I need to take care of myself. I also learned to surround myself with like-minded people. They are the people who have the same energy as you, the same passion as you. And it's really good to strive when you know that you are in the right circle. Also, another important lesson in my 20s is that setting boundaries, learning how to say no, setting boundaries that this is just me, this is just what I can do. And of course, it may sound selfish, self-centered, and insensitive, but again, it will all go back to self-care and prioritizing yourself, because if you are always saying to every offer, to every invitations, to every requests, and the ending is that you will be consumed. Maubos yung energy mo and wala ka nang matitira para sa mga mas importanteng bagay, just like time for yourself, time for your family. So yeah, saying no, setting boundaries. Another thing na na-realize ko din throughout my 20s is that whenever I have problems, yung mga nalalapitan ko talaga are girlfriends, girl space friends, you know. I would say that women are my trusted friends. But not to be exaggerating about it, hindi naman lahat ng women, hindi naman lahat ng babae is minsan din napapagkatiwalaan. There are some women who, you know, stab me in the back or say bad things about me. They gossip about me. But then again, in the end, I would say that if something bad happens to me, I would still run to a woman, to my tita, to my mom, to my colleague who's a woman. I do have male friends and gay friends, pero iba kasi yung role ng women in my life. Iba yung impact nila. And whenever I talk to them, things can be really real, you know. So I really consider women as my trusted friends, though not all of them, but some of them. I have women who serves as my mentor, my best friends, my guide, and you know, just my company. So yeah, thank you girls, thank you for the love. Okay, ito pa, isa pa to. Procrastination is fatal. Procrastination will really kill your dreams. Procrastination is one of my true enemies at ang hirap niya talagang labanan. One of my procrastination issue is that I always tap on my phone. I kept on scrolling on social media mindlessly. So, to the point na nakakalimutan ko na yung mga priorities ko when it comes to my career, to my family, and to my personal, you know, self-care. So, yeah, procrastination talaga is something that I really need to combat. But you know guys, all throughout my 20s, I realized that procrastination will always be there. It's just me who needs to decide if I want to be disciplined, if I want to be loose. So yeah, it all goes back to me pa rin. So one of the things that I learned is that always be aware if I'm procrastinating or not. And one important lesson as well is that appreciate my body. You know, as a young person, there are a lot of insecurities. There are a lot of episodes wherein you don't accept your physical state. And it's normal. You know, I've been through that, guys. In my early 20s, I've always looked to people who are more physically good looking than me. But then again, as I progress into my mid-20s and in my late 20s, I came to appreciate, and appreciation is not yet recognized until you learn to accept. So acceptance talaga is the first thing that you should do. If you learn how to accept and learn that these flaws that you consider are not really flaws. Sabi pa nga nung ni Miss Ayin, yung favorite social media content creator ko, is that the flaws that you consider in your body are not flaws, they are features. And once you accept them, that is the moment that you get to appreciate them. And from appreciating your parts of your body comes confidence. I think that's it. In my own words, I would say that if you want to be confident, you should appreciate your own body. But for you to appreciate your own body, you should be able to accept it first, the way it is. That's it. That's it. Another thing is that find time for my family or spend time with them, even if it's just a simple breakfast, dinner. Ano to sa inyo ha, pero kasi kami, we have bonding time whenever we eat together. I really make it a point to have quality time for them. One of the ways that I do is that I really put away my phone. I put it far away so that I'll be able to concentrate and talk to my mother, to my aunt, to my siblings. Wala na kasi si Papa, so yan, kami-kami na lang. And because of the loss of my father as well, doon ko din talaga na-realize yung importance ng family talaga in my life. Because without them, I would be really lost and I don't know what will happen to me. So I really want to keep them as much as I could. Okay, ito na. Malapit na tayo sa exciting part. At isa talaga sa mga biggest lessons na na-learn ko and talagang nagbigay sa akin ng malaking maraming regrets ay being too emotional and being emotionally attached to a person. So never be too emotionally attached to a person, to a situation, to a material thing. Yeah, because if you're always attached and you don't know how to detach yourself from these things, you might get frustrated. You will always get disappointed because these things are not forever. So these are just temporary. People are temporary. Situations are temporary. Sometimes it's seasonal. And the material things, it will all go away. It will all fade. Merong shinare sa akin yung mentor ko. Sabi niya, she is practicing an attitude of attach and detach, which made her, I guess, emotionally strong. Hindi yun yung exactong words niya, pero in our conversation, yun yung napipick up ko na she has become emotionally strong, emotionally independent because napapractice niya yung attach and detach when it comes to persons, when it comes to things. So, she might like something, she might like someone for a moment, but if that person or if that thing or situation goes away, then she can detach easily. She is learning, practicing how to detach easily. So yeah, that is one thing talaga na pinractice ko na bago pa matapos tong 2022. And now that it's 2023, I am really hoping na I am better when it comes to handling my emotions. So attach, but learn how to detach when it is needed. Okay, and because we are in the adulting stage, hindi mawawala sa atin yung usapin ng pera. Yes guys, when we were teenagers, wala tayong alam kundi mag-enjoy. When we reach our 20s, enjoy pa rin, pero slowly, nalalaman na natin yung halaga ng money because we are the ones who's earning it. This is the time na tayo na yung nag-earn, tayo na yung naghahanap buhay, tayo na yung kumikita. So, may mga episodes na talagang wasteful din ako sa money. Hindi ako nag-iisip. Talagang gastos lang ng gastos. And it's okay. I forgave myself for that. But then, I would really be more happy if I learned how to value my money in the earlier stages of my 20s para sana marami akong naipundar. Yeah, so that's it. Learn how to value your money, especially if it's your money, your own money that you earn. And still, in connection to money, I also learned how to prioritize assets versus liabilities. So, you know guys, hindi mo naman kailangan maging accounting major or business major for you to learn the difference between assets and liabilities. You know, in this age of the internet, you can search or learn what is the difference between the two. Ako naman guys, in my mid or late 20s, doon ko talaga siya napapractice yung pag bumibili ako ng mga gamit ko, I would always think twice if it is worth it. And then, I would now think if this is an asset or a liability, kung ito ba ay magbibigay sa akin ng return of investment, ROI, or not. Kasi if not, maybe I would not buy it muna. I would prioritize these things that would give me value. And so, yeah, isa yan sa mga naging lessons ko is to always think if I'm buying something, always think if it becomes an asset or if it adds value to my life. Yon. And by assets, I mean, hindi lang yung mga material things or mga gamit. Minsan, they are also events, situations, and even people. They can become assets or liabilities. So yan, nako, we should also learn from that. Sometimes people, events, and situations, they're not material things, but they can also become assets and liabilities. So you should learn, and I should learn the difference between those people who can become an asset or become a liability for me. And last but not the least, yes, ika-20, always pray. Keep on praying no matter what. And isa sa mga naging goal ko din before this 2022 ended is that I should live a balanced life. Aside from reaching my goals, aside from pursuing my passion, I should also have time for my spiritual aspect. I should also nourish my spirit. And the way I pray, isa sa mga habits ko for me to nourish my spiritual aspect is that I always read my Bible diary, which is 365 days with the Lord. Wait lang, I have a new copy. I'll just get it. Okay, this one. This is my new 365 days with the Lord. This is a Bible diary, and now it's 2023. So isa to sa mga nakatulong sa akin from the past year. Meron din ako nito yung pang 2022. So I always read this every day whenever I wake up. It's not easy. It's a challenge to be consistent with this, but if you really want it, you can do it. It's doable if you just practice the habit of reading. If you know that you're doing this to nourish your own self, then magagawa mo talaga. And as for me, without me being connected to God, I think my life would still be fine, pero it would be unproductive, meaningless, and just a waste. So yeah, I learned how to reconnect and stay connected to God, even in the simplest ways, like reading this Bible, talking to like-minded people like sisters and priests, going to mass, attending to church events. So yeah, and we always have different ways of doing it, but the important thing is that you are doing something for yourself, for your spiritual, and that's enough. So that's it, guys. Those are the 20 lessons I learned in my 20s. So para sa mga 20-somethings dyan, early 20s, mid-20s, and late 20s, at kahit yung mga lampas na, sabi pa nga sa kalendaryo, like 30-somethings like me, I hope meron kayong natutunan. And this 2023, my prayer to myself is that I became more consistent. So may God give me more strength to do the things that I plan in doing. And for you naman, guys, I really pray that you can also have the courage, to go out of your comfort zone if you're scared or if you're shy. And for those naman na nandun na sa state of being brave and being very outgoing, I hope that you may have the strength to still manage yourselves, and to find peace wherever you go. So yeah, so that's it, guys, for today's video. So if you find this vlog valuable to you, meaningful, at meron ka talagang natutunan, and if wala, please do subscribe pa rin to this channel, and I hope that you can give this a thumbs up and comment down if you have more suggestions on what should I do in my next vlogs. I may not be having too much vlogs for this year because I'm cooking something new. I'm so excited for that. Be excited too, guys. So yeah, that's it, and see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Mwah, 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 mwah.